morning, bon dia. We just saw Brown, one of the characters from Line. Line has become a pioneer for messaging apps in terms of creating a portal to the web for its users. It's got hundreds of millions of people using it in Asia. Often when we talk about messaging apps, when we refer to Facebook Messenger, Apple iMessage, Kik, those Western messaging apps, they're looking to Asia and peers like Line and WeChat and KakaoTalk of Korea on how to become more than just all about free texting. So Takeshi, it's great to have you here to give us some insight into that. And of course, the big news this year was you had the biggest tech IPO of the year, raising more than $1 billion, at one point topping a valuation of $9 billion. That's a hell of a lot of capital to raise. How are you spending it?
Hola, bon dia. I'm
Very
Takeshi
good.
Idezawa. Yeah. まず上場をして非常に大きな調達をしてで我々今やっているのが今紹介にもあったんですけれどもメッセンジャーが入り口になってチャットアップが入り口になって全てのものにつながっていくそういうサービスを作ろうと思っています。
As Parmy just mentioned, through our IPO, we have acquired major capital, and our goal at Line is for Line to become the gateway, for the chat app to become the gateway for users to access various services.
で我々単なるチャットアップを超えて、全てのインターネットサービスのプラットフォームポータルになるべく、我々自身スマートポータルと呼んでいるんですが、そのようなものに投資を強めていくというふうに考えています。
And in using this new capital, we are not just going to become a chat app, but we want the Line to become the gateway to access the internet and become the internet portal, which we call the smart portal.
That leads me to the question of what's your vision ultimately for Line? Do you see your app almost replacing an operating system like Android or iOS, where instead of using standalone apps, your users are just using all the services in Line itself?
単純にアプリケーション、スマートフォンアップを置き換えるだけではなくて、実は例えば日本でいうと若い世代はもうすでに電話も使っていないし、でメールも非常に使う人が少なくなっているということで、あらゆるインターネットで行われていたトランザクションをチャットアップが、乗り換えることができると、そういうビジョンを持っています。
So, we don't think that Line will just replace iOS or Androids, but if you look at the younger generation today, they are no longer making phone calls or sending emails. And so we think that Line will become a replacement for users to access all internet services.
And we were talking earlier, you were saying some of your users in Japan, the younger users, literally don't know how to send an email. They use Line instead.
特に今まで10代で携帯電話のメールを使ってたんですけれども、それが今ほとんど使われなくなっていて、で彼が例えば大学に入ったり社会人になるまでメールの使い方がわからないっていう人が非常に増えていて、これは日本だけではなくていろんな国で起きている現象だと思います。
For instance, before, especially teenagers, they would send emails to their friends or family through their phone, but now they are communicating with everyone through chat. So they actually don't know how to send emails until they graduate from university and start using emailing services. This is not just a phenomenon in Japan, but you can see it around the world.
Wow. Now, we have to talk about user growth. You have around 220 million active users as per your latest quarterly results. That's up from last year, 212 million. So a little more, not a lot more. your growth has been slowing. Why is that, and what are you doing about it?
我々フォーカスを完全にアジアに向けています。で、ユーザーの成長に関しては我々が強い4カ国、日本とタイと台湾とインドネシアにフォーカスをしているので、その選択と集中の結果でいうと全体の MAU はおっしゃった通りになっています。
You're right. At Line, we are focusing on Asia and especially the four countries, including Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, and Indonesia. So when you look at the user growth, it's true that because we have selected and concentrated all of our business on these four countries, the rate is slowing.
で、そのアジアでのユーザーでいうと我々がフォーカスしている4カ国でいうと前年から 20% ぐらいユーザー伸びているので、非常に健全に成長しているというふうに思います。
When you look at the user growth rate in these four countries, we are actually up by 20% compared to last year. So the user growth rate is actually healthy in Asia.
で、もう一つ追加すると、アジア、我々がフォーカスしている地域は非常にこれからユーザーも経済も成長する地域で、なかなか欧米の企業が参入しづらい領域ですので、我々がそこにフォーカスすることに非常に大きな意味があるというふうに思います。
And to add another point, the four countries that I mentioned in Asia are going to see a major economic growth in the coming years. And these are the markets where maybe American companies aren't going to be able to enter as easily. So we think that focusing on these four countries will be very significant for Line.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, your revenue has been steadily growing over the last few years, no matter what's been happening to user growth. So even if you're restricted to those four core markets, it would seem that there's a pretty substantial business opportunity there. Now, in terms of where your revenue comes from, the latest results show much more coming from advertising over the last few quarters, around 40%, up from 30% last year. How do you want that breakdown to be in the next few years? Do you want the vast majority of your money to come from ads as opposed to stickers of Coney and Brown and games and other content?
確かにこれから中期で見ると広告が一番伸びるというのが事実です。
It's true that in the midterm, the ad business will be the biggest revenue generator.
で、広告が今 40% とご紹介があって、で、次がゲームで今 30% です。で、その次がステッカーの販売で 20% というのが現状のブレイクダウンです。
And as Parmy mentioned, 40% of our revenue comes from our ad business, followed by games, which is 30%, and stickers, which is 20%.
ただ我々そのLINE の上でいろんなサービスを展開するというポータル戦略を取っていて、例えば音楽のサービスも始めているし、例えば決済のサービスも始めているので、その売上の割合というのはコントロールされるものではなくて、いろんなこれからビジネスチャンスが出てくるというふうに考えています。
And from Line, we are offering various services, including Line Music and also a payment service called Line Pay. So the revenue breakdown is under our control.
So you do want more of your revenue to come from ads. It's correct to say that? More than 40%, like we're talking 60, 70, 75.
そうなると思います。今でいうと非常に今我々がやっているパフォーマンス型の広告が非常に伸びていますし、非常に LINE は多くのリーチとユーザーの長い時間使っていただいていると。で、データも非常に豊富にあるので、そういう意味では広告事業が一番の成長ドライバーです。
Yes, that's true. Right now, for our operational ad business is performing very well. We have a wide reach, and users are spending longer and longer in the Line app, and we have lots of data. So it is definitely a major revenue generator.
Okay, and now I just want to go back to geographic expansion again, just to clarify, because even just about 2 years ago, Line was very heavily investing in the United States. I remember speaking to your CEO there, and she was working on partnerships with celebrities and movie production houses, studios, really trying to market the company there. Line got pretty big in Spain, too, at one point. Yet it never was able to become a dominant platform in any of those Western markets. Am I right in saying that you have just decided to stop investing in those markets, leave that for later, or what? What's going to happen in the West?
メッセンジャー、チャットアップという意味でいうと、非常にネットワーク外部性が強い、ネットワークエフェクトが強いサービスになるので、今のタイミングでいうと、今アジアに我々はフォーカスするという選択をしています。
As a chat app, since it has a very strong network effect, we are focusing on the 4 Asian countries.
ネットワークエフェクトが非常に強くて、まず一旦トップのシェアが固まってしまうと、なかなかひっくり返すことが難しくなるという特徴を持っています。
And because chat apps have a very strong network effect, once a certain app achieves the top share in a certain market, it's very difficult to replace that.
でそういう意味でアジアフォーカスと。でただもう一方でチャットアップ以外の例えば、動画のサービスだとか写真のサービスですとか、そういうものに関して言うと積極的に世界に、挑戦していこうということで今もさまざまなアプリの提供をしています。
But so in that sense, we are focusing on the 4 Asian countries. But for other services, such as our video app or photo app, we are actively providing our services around the world.
で例えば最近で言うとヨーロッパのファンドに投資をして、ヨーロッパでも将来的な成長のチャンスがないかという検討をしてますし、あるいは、アジアで非常に人気のあるスノーという、割と比較で言うとスナップチャットと比較されることが多いサービスですけれども、そこにも投資をしたりして、そういう観点で世界に挑戦していくということをやっています。
So recently, we have been looking for opportunities in Europe by investing in a European fund. And in Asia, we have started a service called Snow, which is often compared to Snapchat. But in these ways, we are challenging ourselves in the world.
Okay, and that was a recent acquisition, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's just drill down a little bit into the services because, as I was saying earlier, messaging apps in the West, Telegram, for example, Kik. Kik actually has spoken openly about wanting to be like WeChat. They want to emulate the chat apps of Asia. Just give us some insight into the most popular services online, and also, if you will, a little bit on chatbots, because that's been so hyped recently, but to mixed reviews. How are bots and services really taking off online?
まずチャットボットでいうと我々は多分世界で、一番先行している会社の一つだと思います。
First of all, in terms of chatbots, we think that Line is the leader in the world.
で我々プラットフォーム展開を進めていったんですけども、さらにそれを加速させるのがチャットボットだったり、その裏側での AI の技術だと感じています。
And we think what will drive our business will be the chatbot and also the technology behind it, specifically speaking, the AI.
で我々でいうと今すでに7000以上のチャットボットが我々の上で動いていますし、すでに我々の、チャットの仕組み、ボットの仕組みを300以上の、大手の企業が、使っているという状況です。
Right now, there are already 7,000 chatbots running online and over 300 businesses using chatbots online.
So just to clarify, the 7,000 chatbots, you're still in beta with those, and then you've got the 300 bots, which are more like branded bots, and their sole purpose is marketing. Am I right in thinking that when you talk about bots driving the business in the future, that money's going to come from the branded bots, the ones that are kind of chatting to me about, a fragrance or a car or whatever else?
例えば今代表的なのでいうと配送の会社、運送の会社がその配達日の指定にチャットボットを使っているという例があります。
To give you a major example, we have a transport or delivery service company that uses the chatbot so that users can specify their delivery date.
であとは保険会社がその保険のコンサルティングに、チャットボットを使うということも始まっています。
And we have recently seen an insurance company using a chatbot for their patients that can use it for consultation.
なので、結構チャットボットというとまだ特にアメリカではまだガジェット的な使い方だったりとか、本当にそれが便利になるのかという、疑問があるかもしれないんですけれども、もうすでにアジアにおいてはそれがもうビジネスのコミュニケーションにも採用されているというのが今の現実です。
Maybe in the US, chatbots are seen more like a gadget, and people are wondering whether it's actually useful or not. But in Asia, it is already being used for business as well as communication.
Yeah. And WeChat has chatbots as well. People often lump WeChat, Line, Kakao all into the same category. Just tell me briefly, because we don't have too much time left, what really makes Line different or better than WeChat?
そう思います。そう思います。我々、WeChat も非常に素晴らしいサービスでいろいろ尊敬もしているんですけれども、我々は WeChat は中国にフォーカスというかそこから出ていませんけれども、我々はアジアの多くの国で使われてますし、そのサービスも非常にそのビジネスで活用という意味では非常に先行していると思います。
We think WeChat is also a great app, and we respect WeChat. But while WeChat is focused more on China, Line is expanding in Asia, and it is already being used for business. So in that sense, we think we are maybe
特にこういった取り組みに関して世界に広げていくのは各国でのローカライズっていうのが非常に大事になるので、そういう意味では我々はそのローカライズってことに対して非常に力があるので、その点で非常に我々は優位性があるというふうに思います。
And in all of these businesses and projects, we think that localization will be key to expand globally. And we find that localization is one of our strengths at Line, which makes us perhaps better than some of our competitors.
Because you can adapt to different markets. Last question, very quickly. You recently announced that you're building something like Slack, a work-based chat interface. Tell us a little bit about that, where you're going to launch it, and when's it coming to the market?
年明けですかね、1月か2月にローンチの予定です。
We are expecting to launch it after the new year, perhaps January or February.
Okay, and will that just be in your 4 core markets, Japan, Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand?
まず日本から始めますけれども、うまくいけばもちろん全世界に展開したいと思います。
We plan to start in Japan, but if it goes well, we will consider expanding globally.
Okay, well, best of luck with that. And Takeshi, thank you very much for joining us today. Obrigada.